Baruch haba b'shem Hashem. Everyone that came this morning is Mekayim a mitzvah. It's Bakei Shalom B'Rodfeyu. And especially such an important mitzvah of Shalom, Ben Ish L'Ishtoi, between husband and wife in the house. Birshus, Yedidi Rabbi Goin, Weinberger Shlita, Birshus, Yedidi Rabbi Goin, Rafina Shlita, the Manal of our program, Reb David Steiner, friends. The most important inyan in our days is the inyan of Shalom Bayis. There is nothing more that we could come together about that would be more important, more chashuv than Shalom Bayis, because it affects ourselves, our children, and Klal Yisrael. The Baba of Rebbe, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, often said, Kosher Kekriyas Yamsuf. Ask anybody going through Shidduchim right now, they'll tell you, Kosher Kekriyas Yamsuf, more difficult than parting the sea. Ask anyone, Lo Yoleinu Ba'Kol Beis Yisrael, going through difficulty with Parnasa, they'll tell you, Kosher Kekriyas Yamsuf. They know that Chazal, it's on the tip of their tongue, and it's every few minutes being said. But the Baba Rebbe said, it's not so much that it's kasha, although it may be. Shidduchim are difficult. Parnasa is sometimes difficult. He said, what is the difficulty that Chazal mean? He says the nisyonos that are involved, the trials and tribulations of getting a shidduch, of going through a possible rejection, of hearing something, of knowing what the person really wants and what they've been offered and what's read. The nisyonos, do I compromise in this area, or do I compromise in that area? The nisyonos of how do I keep me amunah and bitachon strong? That's kosher, kekriyas yamsuf. And also in Parnasa, the same. This morning I'd like to go into a few of the nisyonos that we all have. No one is immune. You know, I very rarely would ever recommend a book that came from the secular press. But there is one, and the title is Perfect Husbands and Other Fairy Tales. I would say, get the book, don't read it, but leave it on the shelf, because it's a Musar Haskell. We are not perfect, our husbands are not perfect, our wives are not perfect, but in the perfect world, where we are used to computer, where we can get it down just exactly to what we want. And we know how to Photoshop things away, and we can just create the perfect image. There's no perfect image. We are striving a whole lifetime to become the Adam HaShalem, to become perfect, to become the best husband, to become the best wife. We're a work in progress. We didn't get all of these shiurim, and even if there was a Shalom Bayis shiur in the yeshiva, in the Beis Yaakov, in the school, that was great. But the nitty-gritty of the things that are going on, the things privately that go on, who gave us a shiur in it? Where did we see it from our Rabbi? There was so much that we were privy to be able to observe, and then there was so much that we didn't. So basically, when you go out from the chuppah, and you go into the yichud room, and then break out into the Sheva Brachas, you're on your own. But the truth is there's a das Torah on every single facet of life. Our success in being a couple, our success in being a family, is how much we are able to understand that every move is dictated by das Torah. So this morning I would like to begin by saying that there are a few things in the house that I feel need to come under shmira for all of us. And that shmira will help in the success, in the direction of our families. First of all, Beis Shammai Omrim. Beis Shammai said that, be very careful. Don't divorce your wife. Don't divorce your wife. It's not a good thing. Elohim Cain, Motza Bo Dova. If a person found a Dvayeva, so immorality, something that will tear apart the fiber of the family, of the community, that's a serious business. But Beis Hillel says, don't worry, even if she burnt the cooking, you can give your wife a divorce, it's okay. So I hear a few, a few comments on it. What does it mean? Indeed, there's an interesting tshuva from Agoy Rav Moshe Feinstein. You're not going to believe it, so please open up the Igros Moshe when you get home. Rav Moshe was asked by someone that was going out, a young man. He would like to know if he could ask the girl that he's going out with to cook a meal for him, to see how he cooks, she cooks. Hagoy Rav Moshe answers an unbelievable tshuva, and in the tshuva, he says, if the midas are good, and she's a true person, and you both have ideas of building a Torah home, don't worry about it, there's always takeout. Basically, what a person has to know is, when do we put the dagesh, and where do we put it on, what do we accent, what's important, what should we do in order to build up our lives, that we have the type of relationship, a husband and wife, that it is as Rav Freifeld, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, once talked about living together with his wife. He said it was Gan Eden. Gan Eden. I don't know how many people will give the same answer when they're asked, how's your married life? Gan Eden. And by the way, that question is a question that I'm not sure we should ask, because it invites a lot of very interesting answers that are governed in the Sefer Shmir Saloshan, that we have to be very careful. If somebody comes over to you and discusses a husband or a wife, you have to be careful. What do you say? Are you an enabler? Do you feed fuel into the fire? Are you the one that says, yeah, whoa, you have a really rough time there? You have to know all sides, both sides. You have to know that shalom is something that is a dream that a person works on. If you can be mechazik the other individual, if you can help them, good. But not to become a person that sort of listens to it all and gives their comments on it. The Ribbon Shalom did not put us here in this world for that reason. All right, first inyan that a person has to be careful on. Now, I'm going to say it first, although maybe it should have been 10th or 11th. Internet. Internet in the home is a problem. I say that the Satan found it very difficult in our generation to get into the Jewish home. You tell me which home is not filled with a shas. You tell me which home the people in the home are not involved in doing chesed. You tell me which home they don't even, today, every Suda they learn something, Shmir Saloshan, V'hasar Kasman, anything. I found in most homes there are Divrei Torah going on. You show me in which home they didn't buy the new Sefer on the Mishkan to understand Pashas Tetzaveh better. You show me which home they don't want to steig and get better. So the Sultan said, I'm out of business. In this generation, what am I doing? This is a type of generation where on a morning, a Sunday morning, a busy Sunday morning, they come to Shaarei Tefilah and they flock in to hear about Shalom Bayis and get, I don't know, Musa or whatever. You tell me another generation like that. Reb Nachman of Breslov said, Dor ledor yishabach ma'asecha. Dor ledor, so we usually translate it that every generation, yishabach ma'asecha, praises your works, Hashem. He said, no, Loshen Shevach. Every generation is better. In some way, our generation and the Ikvus of the Mashiach are even better because we want to know and we want to learn and we want to do and we're good. The only thing is, the Sultan said, how am I getting into the homes? So he found a way. Internet. You need it for the business. You need it, it saves time. Bittul Zman. Order online, bank online, do all kinds of things online, post office online, print out. Bittul Zman, I have time to sitzen and learn it. I can sit and learn a whole day. I would be Meichel. Don't be upset with me. I'd be Meichel Titus. All the good things that came along with it, all the good, for the havoc that it has wreaked. Suffice it to say that I have, in the course of 1 week, I would say it would be a low estimation to say 300 calls. 300 calls. Shall I tell you the chelik that come in on Shalom Bayis? And from that chelik in Shalom Bayis, in some way, where the culprit is the internet,